Let's understand the distinction between deductive and inductive arguments. And I think the best way for us to get a feeling, an understanding of what constitutes a deductive versus an inductive argument is by considering one good argument of either form. Let's consider the following argument. If the president is in the White House, then the president is in Washington. The president is in the White House, therefore the president is in Washington. If you notice, the truth of those premises guarantees the truth of the conclusion. That is typically, the way the world is, the White House is in Washington. So we know if the president's in the White House, he's got to be in Washington. So we know the first premise is true. Let's say we also know that the president is in the White House. We know that he's in the city of Washington. So the truth of those premises number 1 and 2, guarantees the truth of that conclusion, which is what makes it a deductive argument. A deductive argument is one in which the truth of the premises is intended to guarantee the truth of the conclusion. The reason the word is intended there is what makes something a deductive argument is what the person who is giving this argument, defending this argument, is intending. People sometimes give bad deductive arguments, or they think it's a good argument and they're incorrect. So deductive versus inductive depends on what the person intends. Now, by contrast, let's consider the following argument. Most of the time the president is in Washington. He has dinner with his family. Let me just change to say he has dinner. The president is Washington, therefore the president had dinner with his family. Now, certainly those two premises give you good reason to believe that conclusion. They make that conclusion possible, but they don't guarantee its truth. It could be the case that this is one of the very small number of times when the president is in the White House, but he's busy conferring with his advisors about some kind of crisis, and that's why he did not have time to have dinner with his family. So we see that the truth of these premises are supposed to, or actually in this case do, make the truth of the conclusion probable. They do not guarantee the truth of the conclusion, rather they're just intended to make the truth of the conclusion probable. And that is the mark of an inductive argument. Now, the way you'll typically look at arguments is if it looks like it's not a good deductive argument, you're going to consider whether it is a good inductive argument.